Hi guys, it's Mama Doe Dawn, and it is so close to Halloween. If you guys have been around on my channel for a little while, you know that during holidays I try to be as zero waste or as low waste as possible. Like holidays in America specifically are one of the most wasteful times of the year. We're typically giving lots of candy items, lots of toy items, lots of small disposable items that have a lot of plastic packaging. Today I wanted to sit down and share with you guys some ideas that I came up with to do low waste Halloween treats. Ideas aren't entirely zero waste. Some of them can be, but most of them have a little bit of waste. It's just a more eco-friendly waste compared to small little bits of candy that are packaged in pretty much as much plastic as there is chocolate inside. So if you guys have been around on my channel for a little while, you also know that I try to be as frugal as possible. I am not making a ton of money, so all of these ideas needed to be quite cheap. All of these ideas can be either created or purchased at the Dollar Tree or your local library. All of these items are also Teal pumpkin items, so they're good for children with allergies, who maybe have diabetes, who have some kind of dietary restriction. Almost all of these fit into the category of being safe for those kiddos as well. It's already wanting this one, but the first idea I came up with is coloring pages, and you can print these off either at your house if you have a printer, or you can do it at the local library. Either do 4 small ones and then kind of staple them together, cut them into pieces, so then you have like a little booklet. You could do a big one like that, and another way to kind of spruce them up and make them like easier to hand out rather than just a piece of paper is to put them in a little envelope, maybe decorate the envelope with a few little stickers. Paper is much more biodegradable than plastic, so doing something like this does help the environment by not putting a bunch of plastic in. Paper biodegrades really quickly, usually in less than a year, so this would be a great alternative to candy, and it's something that's super easy. If you have a printer yourself, this is going to be super cheap to do. Off 100 or so sheets and then maybe fold them up, put them in a cute little envelope with a sticker on it, and you have some cute little Halloween treats. Next idea I had was popcorn. You can pop your own popcorn, buy pre-popped popcorn, and then disperse it into, I like using these little, like, these are wax paper cookie baking bags. You can find these at Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure Walmart sells them in their baking aisle. But they're just kind of like a wax coated paper bag that lasts. It's pretty easy. You could fold it up. Again, if you wanted to make this more Halloweeny, you could put a little sticker on it. And another thing you could do are buy the decorated ones. I got these ones on Amazon, so these are just kind of pretty. I thought this was not so much like a spooky print, but you know, like an old Victorian home kind of print that might work for Halloween. Popcorn is also super easy and super cheap to make or buy. I'm gonna do something kind of easy, not necessarily zero waste, but more low waste. Not going to be as disposable as just candy wrappers. You could do like little plastic toys, and this actually coincides with something that I'm about to tell you, but I have like the little plastic toy in there. You can do the spider rings, the skull rings, fake bugs, fake rats, whatever it is. They're a toy that's going to be saved, probably played with, and not so easily discarded like a candy wrapper, so that is something you could go and buy as an alternative. Again, it's another one of those things that are really good for Teal pumpkin kiddos who may have dietary restrictions. Toys are universal. They can be played with by pretty much anyone. My next idea, which is making homemade Play-Doh. There are so many different ways that you can package this Play-Doh. Play-Doh is super easy to make. You can find recipes online. I'll leave a link to my favorite one that I found on Google. It's basically just flour, salt, cream of tartar or baking soda, and water, vegetable oil, food coloring. So super cheap to make. Does take a little bit of effort, and you'll have to split it up. You can do whatever color you want with the food coloring. I chose green. There's so many different ways you can package the Play-Doh. You can use the wax paper bags again. This will be fine for Play-Doh. You can recycle, like keep old tubs, like butter tubs and things like that. Maybe put some stickers on them, reuse those. What I've done is I've saved Play-Doh containers that my daughter got as gifts, essentially, from other family members. I cleaned off the writing on them and then just kind of kept them to turn into little, I use these containers over and over and over again for Charlotte, but this is something you could do as well. Another idea, if you do want to get like plastic bags to wrap things in, like Play-Doh, I got these from a local thrift shop. So these are opened. A few of them have been used, but it's one of those things where someone was going to throw that out anyways. Rather than it going in the trash, I'm now getting use out of it because I went to a thrift shop and bought something that someone had already used a few of. So I feel like that's a better alternative to going and buying just brand new bags, and usually you're getting them super cheap. These were 5 cents. This idea is something that you'd usually have to order online. You can get this on Amazon or on eBay, but it's play money. This is something that I did in the past for kiddos up in Alaska when I trick-or-treated there, and I ordered just a bulk amount of paper play money. It came in like one big plastic bag, so all I had to do was discard that one bag rather than lots of little wrappers, and then I just took the money and paper clipped like $10 or so together, something super educational that kids could play with. Again, paper is way more biodegradable than a candy wrapper would be, so even if the kiddos are going to play with it, crunkle them up, rip them, they're going to get thrown away. They're going to be so much easier on the environment than candy wrappers. You can do that if you carve a lot of pumpkins, if you have a pumpkin carving party, or if you have a large family and you're carving a lot of pumpkins, is to save all of the pumpkin seeds, just air dry them in normal room temperature environment for about 2 days, and then you can package these again in these paper bags. That works perfectly fine, or in the envelopes. And you can sell pumpkin seeds for them to grow next year with directions. You could write little directions on the envelope, print off like a sticker that you could stick on with directions, or just print off the directions themselves and put them inside. It's really easy to grow pumpkin seeds. Of course, they probably would need a yard, but it is something that you could do that's pretty much entirely zero waste. They could even start the pumpkin seed on their windowsill, just see how the seed grows. It's a little educational activity. They don't have to grow the pumpkin to like full-blown huge vine fruit producing plant. Definitely be like a fun Halloween science kit activity. You can really easily look up directions for planting pumpkin seeds online, print off a few of those directions, and then give each kiddo 5 to 10 pumpkin seeds. This idea I don't have a physical example of, but you could create Halloween themed painted rocks, and if your local town has like a Facebook group that hides rocks and finds rocks, you could print off little directions for posting the rock on there or hiding the rock somewhere around town so somewhere else could find it. It's just one of those free little activities that, one, gets kids outside, which I think is amazing, is zero waste because the rocks really aren't doing anything to the environment. Really all the waste you're gonna have is from the paint, and you can, like a little bottle of paint can go such a long ways when painting rocks. Decorate them in Halloween themes, so it's just a cute little thing that kiddos can take, hide, or just decorate in their own room. This one actually roots back to what I have done with Charlotte for her Easter baskets in the past, and that is loose play parts. One of my favorite things for this is seashells. Kids can use seashells in a variety of ways. They can use them in their play kitchens, they can use them in little mermaid setups, they can use them to decorate their little doll houses. They can create beach settings outside. They can try to stack them. There are just so many things kids can do with seashells. Again, seashells can be packaged in envelopes or the little wax bags, where you can get bigger seashells so they can just pick out one seashell. It's one of those things I feel like everyone loves. Adults love seashells. Kiddos love seashells. They're a cute little science activity, and of course seashells are entirely natural, so they're not going to do any harm to the environment. You can even order them online where they're just coming in a large cardboard box. Cardboard is super biodegradable, and this is one of those things that are really, really low waste. These are my ideas for my 8 different frugal, almost zero waste Halloween treats that can replace those very heavily plastic packaged candy items that almost all of us tend to use just out of ease. I think a lot of these are almost as easy as those plastic packaged candies. They may take a little bit more effort, but in turn they are preventing so much waste. The plan for incorporating these is that I'm going to take coloring pages, print off some pumpkin coloring pages, throw in a few pumpkin seeds with the directions on the back of the coloring pages so they can either just color the pumpkin or they can actually take the directions and grow their own pumpkin seeds as well. All of those will be wrapped in just the little envelopes that I showed you, and I plan on just taking an ink stamp and stamping a pumpkin onto every single one of those just to make them look a little more Halloween-y. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love sharing kind of zero waste, creative, frugal tips. If you're interested in more frugal tips or just single mom life videos or low waste / zero waste videos, feel free to come back to my channel anytime. Love having you guys, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.